I'm Mike Russell. Adobe Max has just finished. New apps have been released. Let's find out what's new. So it feels like Christmas Day. Yes, Adobe Max has completed. The new apps are here. And oh, look, Adobe Audition. Look at this on the website. A new version of Adobe Audition is here with great new features. I'm sorry, Adobe, but that's just a blatant lie. I went through to the release notes page to find out what these great new features are, and lo and behold, last updated 8th of May 2024. There have been no new features for years in Adobe Audition, but I thought, no, I must be missing something. It says on the Audition page there are new features. So I went into my Creative Cloud application, scrolled to Adobe Audition version 25.0, updated today, and bug fixes and performance improvements. So please, I'm open to the fact I could be wrong. If you can find these great new features, please let me know in the comments down below. Okay, with that said, there are great new audio features, but they're over in Premiere Pro, not Adobe Audition. Let's dive in and have a look. So first of all, you'll see that Premiere Pro is getting this kind of rounded look on the user interface. This is something that's first of all appearing in the left-hand menu bar, but eventually will come to, hopefully, if it passes beta, the waveform and the video track as well. Now you'll see I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro Beta because I'm about to show you the most groundbreaking feature, Generative Extend, very soon, and it's incredible, so stand by for that. But first of all, let me show you when I click on a clip, now we get this lovely new properties panel, so no need to dig through like panels like effect controls and stuff just to resize your video or change the level of the audio volume. It's all available to you now in the properties panel, which I think is really, really cool. But let's get into the main attraction, and this is Generative Extend. We'll look at it to extend audio. You can extend audio by up to 10 seconds. This is not music tracks, by the way. I'll show you how to extend music tracks later on in the video, but you can use it to extend ambience, room noise, stuff like that. It's going to be great if you need a quick 10-second extension in a snap. And of course, you can use it on video, and this is what I'm thrilled to do. I've got a video clip here, and it's actually linked to my audio, so I'm going to unlink it by hitting Command and L on my Mac, and now you'll see I've only got the video track selected here. I can actually make it a little bit bigger so you can really see what I'm working on here. And then to Generative Extend, providing you're in Adobe Premiere Pro Beta, which is available to everyone to download, by the way, inside the Creative Cloud app, you can click this icon over here, the Generative Extend tool, and then you simply drag the end of the video track out, and it will let you do it up to, look at that, 2 seconds in duration. And then we wait. And once your AI generation is complete, you'll see it's labeled here as AI generated. Now I can make this video pane a bit bigger and play it back. I'll see you there. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? All of this is AI generated, and it continues with me talking. Now, I'm going to show you something really cool with Generative Extend, and I'm pretty sure Adobe did not intend for this feature to be used that way, but you can get into Generative Extend Inception. Let me show you how. So first of all, if I try and hit the Generative Extend button and drag this out, it's going to say down here, Generative Extend can only be applied once to the clip. Well, that is slightly true. But if you go ahead and hit the V key on your keyboard, go back to the beautiful cursor here, which of course is the selection tool, you can double click this AI generated text and it will take you to an Inception version where you've got the extension within another sequence here. Now, if I hit Generative Extend, I can generate another 2 seconds, essentially doing Generative Extend for 4 seconds. And boom, look at that. Now we've got a 4-second extended clip. Now, obviously, it keeps me talking, but I can change this and get a new generation every single time. So if I go back to the original sequence with my AI-generated extension and I don't quite like it, I can right-click and I can click Generate again. I can also feed back, and I think it's important in this early stage to say whether it's a good or a poor output. So actually, because it kept my mouth moving and I'd rather I was doing something different when I finished speaking, I'm going to say that was a poor output, and you can even say what exactly you felt was poor about the generation. So now I'm going to right-click and say Generate Again. And while this is generating, it's important to say all your generated media will go into this little folder here that's created here, Generative Extend. So you can see all of those AI-based clips are stored there, ready for you to use. And I know that Adobe are really hot on the ethics with this stuff, so they're working on implementing content credentials, which means when you publish something that has altered media, it will be there in the metadata of the file. And this is good for content authenticity going forward. It's also worth to note that YouTube's pretty hot on this too. If you're uploading your videos to YouTube, they actually have a section here for altered content, and you must click yes if you're doing anything. So Generative Extend would fall under the yes option on altered content inside YouTube. And while you're waiting for that Generative Extend to complete, if you go up to the top right to the progress dashboard, you'll see how far I am with Generative Extend, 75% complete, and it will give me the full details here of my generation that's occurring. Okay, and with that Generative Extend redone, I'll see you there. That is quite the cheesy smile, isn't it? Now you can see this is not perfect, but it's only going to get better, and it uses Adobe's latest Firefly video model to do your extensions. Now let's do something fun. Let's do a 10-second Generative Extend Inception sequence with my funny face right now. If you're enjoying what you see so far, throw a like and remember to subscribe for more videos just like this on my channel. Okay, and as we can see here, when I've got the full sequence here, we go into AI generation here, and while there's a little bit of glitchiness, the consistency overall is good. The only thing I'm not too keen on is how I get more wrinkles and my face ages with time, but the consistency of the backdrop and the clothing I'm wearing is okay. Sometimes you'll see lighting changes like here, but in general, consistency and the ability not to deviate from what your subject is doing is really good. And of course, remember, Adobe intend you to use this subject for 2 seconds only, not 8 seconds as I've done in this particular example. Oh, and by the way, in case you're a little bit worried, the last bit was not Adobe Premiere Pro Generative Extend, but it was indeed Pika Effects, which are awesome. I've spoken about them on my other channel, and you can do crazy things with AI using an app called Pika. Anyway, moving on, I've got access to Adobe Firefly Video Beta, and I've uploaded the image of my head, and as it's nearly Halloween, I've said a man's head turns into a pumpkin. Let's see what happens. Okay, here's the generation, and whoa, okay, yeah, that is nightmare fuel. And if we want, we can re-roll it, of course, and we can use some motion commands so I can maybe zoom into the man's head while the pumpkin is created. And here's our generation, zooming in, and the man's looking disturbed and turns into, yes, a pumpkin, while lots of things flash in the background. That generation was a lot more consistent than the first. Let's go for another prompt here. Pumpkins quickly grow in a large field, and this time I'm going to zoom out and let's generate. And here's our generation. Yep, pumpkins in a large field. That's a very large field indeed. And if I'm happy with the generation, I can download it. And I've pulled that AI generation into my sequence now. And I can also perform Generative Extend on something I've pulled out of Adobe Firefly Video. And there we go. Now you can clearly see there is an AI generated part of the AI generation. Again, keeping with the Inception theme. And here's our original generation from Firefly Video. And then it's going to go into the AI generated bit, which continues and maintains consistency for another 2 seconds. So you can see how this feature is going to be powerful for extending just that itsy bitsy little bit to get to the next scene in your video production. With that said, audio really excites me, and I'm going to test out Generative Extend for audio now. It works great on room ambience and sound effects in general. Doesn't work on music, but again, I'll show you a way to do that towards the end of the video. So I've just inserted some background noise. Yes, we've got a lovely kind of appropriate piece of audio to go with that clip, but obviously it ends here. So now I can select Generative Extend and pull this out. And of course I can go longer than 2 seconds. I've just done 2 and a bit seconds for this example, and we'll see how it turns out. Now we'll play from the start. And that's a pretty good continuation of the background ambience there. Now, like I say, it is possible to Generative Extend audio up to 10 seconds. And let me show you how that would work. We obviously grab the Generative Extend tool and drag all the way up to 10 seconds. Yes, it will continue your ambience for 10 seconds. And here, let's listen to that extension. And it's done a reasonable job there. It does sound a little bit electronic and robotic, but again, things I think will improve with time. Now we can try it with some other stuff here. Here I got some ambience. It's quite a busy people ambience there. So again, Generative Extend, let's drag this out and listen to what it does. Okay, we see that our first Generative Extend on audio is ready. Let's listen. That's awesome. That's incredible. This is the real audio. And there's the AI audio. Pretty decent stuff. Let's go over here and listen to this one. This is the real audio. Now this one's a bit complex because there is a bit of like spaceshipy ambience. Let's go into the AI generation. And you'll see actually it's just faded it out and says can't complete. So obviously when the AI model can't do something, when it's a little bit musical, it will tell you, sorry, can't do this, and move on. And finally, I deliberately wanted to go for something like this because it's road noise with deliberate motorbikes. Let's listen to it. There you go. And yes, you can hear the motorbikes. All of that noise going on. So we're running the generation here. And here's the result. Let's listen. Yeah, do you know that's not too bad at all. It's got a little bit of background noise ambience, no more motorbikes roaring by, but you keep the same theme of the same sound, and this can be powerful when you're telling a story with video and you just need that extra bit without, well, exactly copying and pasting certain bits, which you can do by grabbing the audio, holding down the Alt key and copying and looping it like that. But this Generative Extend for audio is also going to be really good, I think. Now, with all that said, Generative Extend won't work on anything musical, like, for instance, this. This is a music track, it ends here. Okay, so that is definitely music. If I try and use Generative Extend like this and pull it out, let's see what happens. Maybe it's going to do something. I don't know. And yes, it's come up. Generative Extend can't process your audio. Check that it doesn't contain music. So Generative Extend knows that it can't complete anything slightly musical. So how do we get around this? Well, actually, it's a feature that's existed for a long time in Adobe Premiere Pro and actually initially came into Adobe Audition back in the day. It's called Remix, and this is how you use it. So I'm going to undo my AI extension here, and I'm going to use one of the old school machine learning tools. It's over here in the toolbar. Just go to the Remix tool, and then we can grab this. You can see this audio is just over 15 seconds long. I can now grab at the end, just like with Generative Extend, but I can go out to, say I need a minute's worth of audio. I can do this. It analyzes the clip. It's a lot faster than AI, and look at that now. You'll see everywhere, and let's make this bigger so you can really see the audio clip here. Everywhere there is a zigzag, it's made an extension. Now, it hasn't actually used AI to extend the audio. It's simply calculated the best place to loop the original music, and then it loops it round for you. So let's listen to the cuts. Seamless, absolutely amazing. And then let's listen to another cut. It's coming up here. 3, 2, 1. And there's another cut. So as you can hear, it's just going round and round again. But if you've got a long music track, so I used 15 seconds of audio there. If you've got 3 minutes, it'll really do an incredible extend. It's the Remix tool available right now in Adobe Premiere Pro. And it's even in the original version, you don't need beta to use the Remix tool. It's very powerful. So there you go. New audio and video features from Adobe after their Adobe Max event in Miami. We've got Generative Extend for video, Generative Extend for audio. Don't forget the Adobe Remix tool as well, and very soon Adobe Firefly video. Let me know how you get on in the comments down below. Throw a like and subscribe for more on my channel.